Now, what happens when the life you planned no longer looks like the life you were living? What happens when the goals you change, when your interests shift, when the future you once imagined no longer feels like the future you are meant to pursue? Many people are afraid to change direction because they believe changing their mind means they've failed. Their purpose that they once had in mind is completely ruined. They believe that once they choose a path, they must remain on that path, nose to the grindstone the entire time. They believe that walking away from an old dream means that they were never disciplined enough and committed enough and capable enough of completing that task. But your aspirations will change over time, and so will you. Now, think about the definition of aspiration. Aspiration is a strong desire to achieve something great. The person you were 5 years ago is not the exact same person you were today. Your experiences have changed you, and hopefully have changed you for the better. Your failures have also changed you, and they have hopefully changed you for the better. Your relationships, your responsibilities, your challenges, all these opportunities that you have experienced in life have changed you. Change is not always a sign that you are lost. Sometimes change is proof that you are growing. That was the future I imagined in myself and for myself. It sounded meaningful, it sounded respected, it seemed like a clear direction for my life. But as I grew older, life began to challenge that vision and things started to change. And by the time I entered high school, my future no longer felt as certain, and I didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to become a doctor when I was younger as a kid. And I'm not a doctor now, obviously, and I'm not going down that route. But instead of following the path I once imagined, I began thinking about which trade I wanted to pursue. Electrician, a plumber. And this is proof of aspirations. This is proof that my aspirations changed and have changed over time, and my understanding of myself has changed. The opportunities in front of me have changed. At first, change like these can feel very, very uncomfortable. We often attach our identity to our plans. We say, this is who I'm going to become, and this is what my life is supposed to look like. This is the path I was supposed to follow. Then, in reality, life happens and everything changes. These circumstances change, new responsibilities appear, doors close, new doors open. You discover strengths you did not know you had. You lose interest in the things that you once believed that defined you and your future. You begin to recognize that the person that you were and you are becoming may be different. And in my previous videos, I've talked about today I'm a paramedic, and this is very different from what I originally believed, what I wanted to become. A little kid me, I want to be a doctor, I want to do this, but by high school, that dream faded, and I don't see these changes and these beliefs that change in my mind over time as pointless and meaningless, but I believe there has been purpose behind each and every single one. Every change led me somewhere and somewhere for the better. Every experience taught me something and taught me something that changed my life for the better. Every shift in direction revealed another part of who I was becoming. And this dream of becoming a doctor may have introduced me to desire to help people. Who knows? But that is what has changed my life, is helping people now. That idea of being selfless and serving others has changed my heart and me for the better in ways that I can't explain. Now, considering a trade may have taught me the value of practical work and the things that need to get done, as well as just this hard work, nose to the grindstone, like I was talking about, this discipline and developing useful skills over time. And becoming a paramedic gave me the opportunity to serve people directly using some of these understandings. The path changed, but the deeper purpose remained there. And that is something that many people fail to recognize, and that is what I failed to recognize when I was younger. And I'm glad that that clicked in my head. Your goals may change while your values remain the same. The title may change, the career may change, the environment may change, but the deeper reason behind what you are pursuing may still be a present. But the deeper reason behind what you are pursuing still may be present. Maybe you once wanted to become a professional athlete because you loved competition, discipline, or physical growth. Later, you may become a coach, a trainer, a mentor off of that. The dream changed, but the purpose remained. Maybe you once wanted to become a doctor like me because you wanted to help people and heal people. Later, you become a nurse, a paramedic, a therapist, a caregiver. The path changed, but the desire remained the same. Sometimes the aspiration changes because your understanding of purpose becomes deeper. This is why you should not fight every change that enters your life. There are moments when you should remain disciplined and continue moving forward. There are also moments when you should be honest enough to admit that you are no longer meant to remain on that current trajectory and you're supposed to change that trajectory. There is a difference between giving up something because it's difficult and changing your direction because of growth. Giving up is often an attempt to escape discomfort, and because growth is recognizing that the old direction no longer aligns with the person you are becoming, only you can honestly determine the difference. But refusing to change simply because you are afraid of what others may think of you is going to trap you in a life that you do not want to live and you were never meant to live. And people may remember the person you used to be. They may remind you of the goals that you once had. They may question why you changed your mind and changed your life. But life is rarely a straight line, and it is filled with unexpected turns, right? Delays, right? Disappointments, what else? Lessons, opportunities. The path may not make sense while you are walking through that path, but sometimes you only understand its purpose once you look back on that path you were once on. You may realize that the job you did not receive pushed you toward the career you were meant to discover. The relationship that ended may have forced you to become independent, a stronger individual. The failure that embarrassed you may have redirected your entire life. And with all of that in mind, acceptance does not mean pretending that suffering does not hurt. Acceptance means that recognizing reality without allowing bitterness to keep you trapped inside of it. You acknowledge what happened, you learned what you could and what you can, and you moved on from that. You make the best decision available for you. Then you continue moving forward. I do not try to fight every outcome that life deals to me. Instead, I try to accept what has happened and determine how I can move forward from that. The mindset does not remove uncertainty. It does not guarantee that every decision will be correct. It does not mean I will understand the purpose, every single season and every single moment of it. But it keeps me from wasting my life and wishing that reality were different. Many people spend their years fighting a version of life that no longer exists. They wish that they had made a different choice. They wish their relationship had worked out, or they picked a different relationship. They wish they had chosen a different career or started something earlier in their life. And it only takes your attention away from the life that is currently in front of you. And you cannot move forward without spending all of your energy arguing with what has already happened. Accept where you are and decide how to move forward from that point in life. Your life may look different from what you once imagined it, but that does not make it meaningless. You are allowed to grow, change your goals, release the dreams that no longer fit who you are and who you are becoming. The true strength here is not only staying committed, it is also adapting without abandoning your values and your purpose. The question is not whether change will happen, but the question is whether you will work with what is happening in your life instead of resisting what is happening in your life. I once believed I wanted to become a doctor, as I stated. Then I considered pursuing a trade, and today I'm a paramedic. And each version of my life was different, but each one played a role in reshaping who I was and who I currently am. None of those changes made me a fool or worse off. They were simply reflections of who I was and what I understood at the time. And the person I am today has lived through these experiences that the younger version of me had not. I know more about my strengths. I understand more about service, responsibility, pressure, and purpose. And as I continue living, my aspirations may change again. That does not frighten me in the same way because I understand that change does not automatically mean I am moving backward. Sometimes change is leading me in a direction that is forward, although it may not seem like that is happening in the moment. So do not become so attached to your plans that you miss the life unfolding in front of you. Plan your future, set your goals, work hard, obviously, put your nose to the grindstone, and remain disciplined and have consistency, but leave room for growth. Leave room for discovery of new things. Your aspirations will change, your circumstances will change, you will change. Do not fear the process, just work with it. Your aspirations will die, and you will change.